Hi everybody, and welcome back to another short video. Let me ask you a question. Are British universities institutionally racist? Well, someone who The Guardian calls a leading vice-chancellor, I'm not sure on which basis Professor David Richardson qualifies in that regard, but they claim he's a leading vice-chancellor, and he cites systemic issues that disproportionately affect Black and minority ethnic students. So he goes on to point out that the universities, all presumably he's just stating UK universities are institutionally racist and must do to support students of colour, a leading vice-chancellor has said. Chairman of the university's UK advisory group and stamping out racial harassment on campus, and vice-chancellor of the University of East Anglia. Didn't that used to be a Polytech? Is that the former Polytech of East Anglia? I think so. So I'm not quite sure how he's leading. But anyway, he said there's evidence of systemic issues that affect people from the Black and ethnic minority in particular. He says, and then I wanted to understand, well, where's this evidence? We all want to understand the evidence. So he says, there are a lot of evidence that points towards universities perpetuating systemic racism. No, there's not, but anyway, he says there is. Being institutionally racist, and I have acknowledged that on behalf of the sector. Gosh, he's the last thing the sector needs. Again, trying to understand where is all this evidence. This comes from a documentary which investigates the experiences of 4 Black students with a focus on what happens when complaints are made. And when you actually delve into it, this is about because some people complain and they were a bit frustrated. Their complaints didn't get the response that they felt it deserved. Another person here, Zach Adden, says he'd been accused of looking like a drug dealer. Well, he's claimed that. Have we got the evidence of that? Furthermore, there's more of this sort of vague stuff. And this is really where we cut to the chase on it. He says, I think it's ingrained, this is the leading vice-chancellor, I think it's ingrained and indoctrinated within the system. It's not so much something that's really overt, open racism, although that does exist. It's more the microaggressions and systemic racism. Okay, let's just put this to one side. Let's be clear on this. Microaggressions are simply a Marxist invention of the political left. There's no such thing as microaggressions. It's absolute garbage, as most people would, I think, with a fair mind accept. And in the second instance, this notion of systemic racism, there is no systemic racism in the UK. As my friend Eleanor Mercer points out, it's systemic stupidity. And that systemic stupidity is illustrated by having someone like this actually as the vice-chancellor of a university, someone who's so guilt-ridden, who's so obsessed on the issue that everywhere he looks, he sees systemic racism. If the UK was what he says it is, people would not be flocking here in the millions, people particularly from the BAME community. So, British universities, whilst not perfect, no one's saying they're perfect, but I mean, please point me to any university in any country that is 100% perfect. It doesn't exist. So this is fundamentally leftists in high places seeking to undermine the things that have made this country great. At one point, our universities were great. I don't think they are great anymore. I think they're factories of cultural Marxism, and this is pretty good evidence of that. They use racism as a weapon to undermine, demoralize, and twist things out of shape. And for that reason and that reason alone, you should be very careful before you consider sending your children to university. That's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comment thread below. Speak soon.